Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Hello, TikTok. Today I look like a bride. Yep. um, because today we're talking about how to keep allure and attraction in a couple with your man. And I'm super excited. I don't know why I'm so excited about this subject, but maybe because I was preparing it. So I was kind of rereading my notes, and I was like, okay, this should be a nice conversation. So I'm, you can say I'm a little excited. Now we're going to talk about how to keep allure and attraction with the man, with your man. Why particularly I want to talk about this is because, okay, so I'm not really into holding to a person. I'm about developing, and if you need to move on and kind of and choose a different person, you should do that. But if you are so lucky as to get already a man that you really feel excited, that you admire, that you really like, then I'm all for doing anything you can to stay with that man and to keep that attraction going. I mean, obviously, you wouldn't want to lose a person that you're already attracted to. I mean, this is just very fortunate. Hopefully, my advice and my kind of explanations will give you some ideas and will keep you so to say interested and keep the passion going in the couple. Now, that's that. Before we'll start, good morning. Before we'll start, I wanted to answer a question. So somebody asked me, or before I will start with that, I did post a video on Thursday about motherhood. If you didn't watch it, please do watch it. It has a lot of interesting information, even for if you are not a mother, but hopefully will be at one point. So do watch it. And if you know mothers, or if you know ladies that are inspired to be mothers, also send it to them. I mean, these are just energetic and systemic rules that will help them somewhat. So that's that. Now, also, I was asked a question. What do you do when you feel frustrated? Now, what I do might not be the same for everybody. Hello, TikTok. What I do when I feel frustrated, I go for a run. That's because I don't have much energy or fire. So I need to raise the fire to kind of solve the issues that I have at my head at that moment. Now, for somebody who has a lot of fire, that might not work. Maybe for that person, it would be better to lay down and to slow the breathing. What I do, I speed up the breathing. So again, it's everybody has their own kind of depending on the energy, the solution will be different. But with me, it's like this. I always, since I was little, every time I feel stuck, I go for a run. And I know once I put my sneakers on and I push myself out the door, everything will be fine. So I will find some kind of solution. But again, it is me. It's you probably, for you, it might not work. Okay, I will tell you more about the planets later, but right now let's talk about the allure and attraction. Okay, so this is what my story. As you all know, fortunately for me, I am a man like me, and I like men, and I have no issues attracting men, and thankfully it was always like that. But my story was not always happy like that. Usually, this was my story. I would get with the man, so I would find somebody I like. I would get with that man, and then I feel super excited about that man because usually, since I'm very feminine, I attract very masculine men. So I like their independence, their actions. I like that they are focused on themselves, on their goals. I like all that about them. Then I try to mold with my emotions and with my feelings. I try to mold him to be suitable for me, so I can control kind of him. And when he get molded, I get too comfortable, and then I start looking around. I get bored with that man. I hope not. I hope you all can hear me very well. Okay, so that's basically it. Let's hope it will get fixed. Should be working. So this was my story. Now, obviously, that was not a healthy kind of relationship, right? You would like, why would I be changing a man that I liked from the start? This is just very strange. But I was doing it to try to control the situation, try to control him, and try to feel good and comfortable around him. Now, so I will. I will tell you what needs to be done to kind of to fix that. So a woman bonds with the man, knowing that the man cares for her. This is kind of natural. So if you know that the man cares for you, if you know that man creates security for you, you bonding with him, and the more he creates that security, the more you kind of bonding with him. Now, a man bonds with the woman through hormone vasopressin. You probably all heard about this, and you know. And that hormone is you can get that hormone through some kind of accomplishment. So a man bonds with the woman when he knows that she's not completely his at all times. So it's like he constantly needs to conquer her. And this is something to keep in mind when we're going to go point by point through the lecture. Remember that every time a man conquers and he knows, okay, this woman is mine, he feels this absolute satisfaction, accomplishment, that this hormone comes out, and he feels really good. So this is how a man bonds. So you could never really completely belong to a man. You should never do that, and this is basically what we're going to talk about. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you need to go on dates with your man. I mean, you know that all, and everybody talks about this. So we're going to skip that at once. Now, we're going point by point, and hopefully with those points, we will come to a conclusion. So let's keep in mind, I already did a few dialogues on the relationship with man, on the relationship, what to expect from a man, what to expect in a relationship. You can watch them. I'll put them in the description here. But remember, with the man, you only spend 25% of the time. Your role with the man is only 25% of the time. So only you're a woman 25%, you're a wife 25%. That's the time when you spend with the man, or thinking about the man, or flirting with man. Then 25% you are a creator, and 25% you are a mother. So somebody who is nurturing. Either you're a mother to your kids, or you are a mother to your project. Now, so don't make sure that this is you stick to this rule. You should have a life of your own, and he should have the one as well. So if your man spends most of the time with you, that means that he doesn't have a life, and you don't have a life, and you guys just trying to keep each other company to make sure that you both somewhat happy. Now, if you will spend more than 25% of the time, you will lose interest in each other. One of you at least will lose the interest, and the other will start to kind of keep it interesting and try to entertain, so the other person will not lose the interest. You don't want that. You just want to be your own self and stay where you are, and basically keep the man interested in you just because you are, not because you're entertaining him. Now, you think that at first that it looks good when you guys are bonding, that you're getting closer to each other, you're connecting. It is all an illusion. It is good to get closer to a person, but not to the point that within a month you know his whole life story, and his childhood traumas and everything else. This is not what you really want. I mean, you're not a shrink for the person. I don't even know that much about my clients. I wouldn't want to know that much about my man. So basically, keep it in mind that you only spending 25% of your time with the man. Now, your man is not your pet. So he shouldn't be at your disposal. Hello from Texas. Hello, Texas. He should not be at your disposal all the time. So a man, he is his own person. So you could not call him every time you feel down, you feel neglected, you feel sad, you feel bored, you feel sick, your energy is low. You could not. He's not your cat that you can grab any time and just like start hugging. He's a man that you admire. So remember that. Now he's not also your parent. Don't expect him to solve your issues. I already told you this story that I had a man that was very successful. Well, he was not really my man, but he was one of my possible candidates to become a man. And he told me, when I complained to him about one of my biggest issues, he said, "Listen, don't bother me with your issues." And I was like, "How could you say something like this?" And he said, "If you need money to fix that issue, I can give you, but don't bother me. I have my issues." And I was upset with him, but he opened my eyes. Like, why is he supposed to fix my issues? Why? Because I read a lot of novels where a man is doing everything. Like, honestly, a man is not supposed to fix your issues. He will at one point, but don't expect it from him, and don't obviously don't bug him with the stuff all the time. So he's not your pet, he's not your parent, he's not your kid. Don't baby your man, don't teach him, don't boss him around. If you didn't watch my video on motherhood, please watch it. And I was telling that sometimes when we're parents to our parents, we start parenting everybody. We start parenting everybody, our man, our friends. Now make sure this is not you. He's your man. If you start parenting him, he will start acting as a teenager. He will, or a child, which you don't want. You want your man to stay a man, not a kid. So don't parent him, don't teach him, don't especially, it could happen, I saw, when women have kids, they baby their kids and then they baby the father of the kids as well. Don't do that. This is really wrong. Now, he's also not your friend to discuss every little thing. Don't gossip with him. Don't discuss your boss. Don't discuss your co-workers. Don't discuss anybody else. He's not your friend. You will be surprised, but you shouldn't be. A lot of my clients, they say, "I want a man who will be my true friend." Okay, so you don't need a man, you want a true friend. Then get yourself a true friend, and then when you will have a true friend, then you can get yourself a man with whom you're going to develop. You remember, you think that it's so good when you are comfortable with the man, when you guys can just bond and talk and act as you are, like just being comfortable in your PJs and just eating popcorn and in bed and just being, but this is not a behavior with your man. This won't get you anywhere. That won't keep the attraction. You will become so comfortable that you won't even be excited to be around him. You will be just comfortable. He will become like this pillow, very comfortable. But do you feel excited about this pillow? No, I don't. I mean, it's good that it's there, but it's not. No. But it's not. This is not what you want, right? You want to feel like real excitement when you see the pillow. If you stay, I will answer this question after I finish the lecture. So make sure that your man is not becoming a pillow. Make sure he's not your comfortable friend. This would be very wrong. Don't try to talk to him about everything that troubles you, that bothers you. It's not right. In the beginning, you will have this illusion that you guys are getting closer. So what our mind is trying to do, our mind tries to control the situation. But once you start controlling the situation, this is not interesting no more. You see, when you are controlling the situation, you basically just dealing with it. There is no excitement. There is no passion no more. There is no more flirtation. It's just you're controlling it like any other situation in your life. And through controlling, there's no excitement. Why we're so excited when we're traveling? Because there is something new and unexpected. But if you travel into another city that you've been there 100 times, you know which which hotel you're going to stay and which croissant you're going to eat, you're already not that excited because you know everything. So the same with the man. Make sure he's not becoming your friend. Obviously, not your kid, not your parent, not your pet. Now, your man is a separate person with his own ideas, habits, and inspirations and plans, and you shouldn't expect him to change that. uh, the man will change. Don't think that he will always be his own self. Of course, he will change. You guys will start spending time together. He will mold a little bit. You will mold a little bit. Of course, he will change, but don't try to convince him to change just because you need it right away. So if he's used to meet with his friends every Thursday, I don't know, for something, I mean, let him go and meet with his friends. If he helps his parents, let him help with his parents. So don't try to change his life because you feel somewhat maybe you feel like now his life belongs to you. Remember, you fell in love with him by what he is right now, by a person who is meeting with his friends on Thursday, and that he's helping parents, that he's this particular person, and yeah, and you like that about him. So don't try to change it about him. It is very, very important. So important. I mean, you can imagine. I mean, most of my clients that are in a relationship, once they stop doing what they're doing, trying to change him to be someone that they have in their head, I mean, the relationship completely change. Okay, so don't another point is, don't also mold yourself to cater to your man. Remember, he fell in love with you, or he liked you for a particular reason. I used to see, I had this friend, she was the career focused woman, she was so stylish, always dressed like so sharp, and the man, they just loved her. So this man, he really did a lot of effort to kind of to conquer her. And after he conquered her, she kind of became a little softer, and he started, oh, I don't want you to work, I want you this, I want you this. So 3 years after, she gained some weight. She obviously stopped dressing up so sharp. And what do you think? He started cheating on her a little bit. So he started looking around and cheating. So what she did, they separated. She went back to work, and then somehow they figured it out. And she basically, but she stayed at work. So she stopped kind of molding herself to him. And this is important. Even though a man will try to convince you, don't agree with his persuasions. Don't mold yourself to anybody, for anybody, especially for a man. Remember, man likes you as you are right now. Otherwise, he wouldn't be interested in you. If you are going to change right now, chances are he won't like you anymore. I mean, he liked you as you are. Remember that. Of course, he's going to be convincing you to change. I'm sure, but this is but you have to stand your ground and be true to yourself. So I remember I was dating a man who was not going to tell you who he was, but in his culture, he didn't want me to dress very revealing. And I lived in Florida at that time. In Florida, you know, but not in Miami as right now, but in Tampa. And I was very young, so I would dress as it was current fashion. I mean, maybe a little revealing here and there, but still, it was Florida, and I was young, and so he liked me when he saw me in a short skirt. Yet when we started dating, he said he wanted me to wear jeans and basically just cover myself as much as I can. Now, when I started covering, he was not looking at me the same way he was looking at me when I was wearing short skirt. Obviously, I don't wear short skirts now because it's not fashionable, and I'm already so much grown up. But the point was that he was not interested in me in jeans, even though he was the one who kind of convinced me to wear them all the time. It was my one big mistake, honestly. Okay, so remember that you are not molding yourself to any man or to anybody at all in your life, for that matter. Remember, you have to be true to yourself. If you have issues, if you have issues with that, you can watch self-love dialogue. Now, also, don't cater to your man. Don't believe that you need to cook for him dinner, breakfast, lunch. I already told you this story. I lived with the man for a little time, not too long, maybe a couple of months. And every morning I would wake up, I would make breakfast for him. And when we start fighting, I told him, I even woke up and I did breakfast for you every single day. And what he told me, he said, I don't know why you were doing this. I don't even eat breakfast. I really don't care for breakfast that much. And it was very funny because I thought that I'm doing what a good kind of girlfriend wife supposed to do, but it was not expected of me, and it didn't mean him nothing. So don't serve anybody, don't cater. No man wants it. No man wants it. I will tell you. Definitely, you will not keep. You will not create any kind of attraction if you will be a servant to your man. A man likes this a woman that he fell in love. She was, I don't know, depending on you. Maybe she was just this mysterious siren, or maybe she was like a tough businesswoman or somebody. Don't become something else. He liked you, that stay that. So he will keep liking you and conquering you all the time. So don't change a man and don't change yourself. This is like a very important. After that, we don't really need to talk, but let's talk more a little bit. Okay, so another one is, and maybe some people will not agree with me, I know, because some of my clients don't. You need to keep flirting. Whether you want it or not, you need to keep flirting. Even if you study etiquette, you know that in etiquette, husband and wife don't sit together at the dinner table. They, if it's like a formal dinner, everybody is split up. So husband and wife only sit together when they're newlyweds. First month, that's it, no more. So if you because you're not supposed to be holding to each other, you're supposed to be mingling with other people. What are you going to talk about with your husband if you're 24/7 with him? Even at dinner you're together. Are you going to discuss the food? I mean, what to talk there about? So you need to keep flirting with your man and with men around you. I mean, as long as it's respectful, obviously. I mean, be mindful. Men, especially masculine men, are very competitive. This is and they need to know that their woman is desirable, that they are conquering this woman again and again and again. That this woman is that she wanted by others, and therefore he wants her. He wants to prove her that he's the best from this pack of wolves that's surrounding her. And even though a man will tell you, will try to control you, will try to kind of make sure you don't flirt, trust me, he will like it. He will like that you are, I mean, obviously, as long as you don't disrespect, there is kind of like this thin border. But as long as you, I don't know, smile, talk, I knew women that are like, I'm married, throwing in everybody's face, like, okay, I mean, and the guy is not even trying nothing. You just smile, just be nice to him. But what I want to say is that flirting is important. This is probably the most important thing. You could not depend on just one man. If you flirt, when you flirt, it is exchange of energy, and you need to make sure that there is new energy coming in, and your energy kind of stays refreshed all the time. And you should also know that you are desirable and wanted by others. It will create some like unknown security for you. When you know that you are desired by others, you are not going to put your man on a pedestal and hold with the death grip on him, because you will be so afraid that he will disappear. It's truly like that. I mean, you need to make sure that you're not depending on your man for your life. And when you're flirting, when you're desirable by others, and when you get proof all the time about it, then you know that you're desired by others, and then you're easy on your man. You're not controlling him. You're not jealous towards him. You're not watching his every step. You just, it's a much easier, smoother kind of life together for both of you, and you're not glued to him. And this is important. Now, another thing, and also very, very important, you should act with your man as he's your biggest crush, and he came to you for one day. So imagine right now, whoever is your biggest crush, imagine that he came to you, he's visiting you for one day. Let's not even visit, he just comes to visit, he comes to your city and he's spending the whole day with you. Now, you need to act like this around your man, and actually even without your man, at all times. If you watch the movie Memoirs of a Geisha, there was so Memoirs of a Geisha was is based on a real life story, even though it's maybe a little not real, but still it's based on a real geisha. And that real geisha, I don't remember her name, but you probably all know. She wrote a book, and I once read her interview, and I remember one line. She said, "Always act with yourself as if you would have the most important man of your life next to you." And I remember myself. And I remember myself. I was acting like this. So I would wake up and I would act as if that man, my crush, that moment, whoever I had as a crush, is next to me at all times. So when I eat, when I sit, when I watch a movie, when I even lay down in bed, I would just imagine that there is this man. And trust me, my actions, my words, my behavior changed completely. I was very mindful about what I'm doing. I was always smiling. I was like relaxed. I was somewhat happy, and that changed a lot of things in my life at that moment. It is a different kind of feeling. It's a feeling of this when you are relaxed, when you feel good, when you feel like you're loved, when you feel like somebody special next to you. It is a really nice feeling. So this is how you should act around your man all the time. And you acted like this when you first start dating your man. If you really had the if you really have this true connection, you probably acted at that point. When you just met, you remember this feeling when you're like a little excited, a little nervous, a little like you are not sure what to expect, but you know it's going to be nice. It's like this feeling, and you need to make sure that you have that feeling at all times around him. And how you're going to have that feeling is when you are not completely in each other's space all the time. Now, it would be very hard to have that feeling when you're 24/7 in each other's face, when he's your friend, your parent, your son, your everything. That would be very hard to kind of have that feeling, because you already know that man, you know everything about him, you know his problems, he knows your problems. It would be very hard to keep this kind of crush feelings, like feelings of excitement around him, like admiration. But this is our goal. This is where we're going with the man. So make it a habit, and you will see how fast your life started to change. Imagine, play this game with yourself. Imagine for 2-3 days that whoever is your biggest crush is next to you all the time, and you will see how you will act. You will see it will be completely different. Your posture will be always straight. You will be eating with fork and knife. You will, when you will be eating, you will be really mindful eating, not just not just slurping and chewing with your mouth open. Like you will see, you will start acting. You will not be. You wouldn't want to gossip, to talk to your friend for 20, like for 2-3 hours. You will really be mindful of what you're doing and how you're doing it. You will be, it's a completely different feeling. I do it sometimes, maybe once a month for like a couple days. I do it often. I like this feeling. Like you just imagine that there is there is a very special man next to you all the time. But it's easy for me because I usually have very special man regardless. So it's easy for me to recreate this feeling. For you, you like, if you don't have this feeling often, if you didn't have it in like some time, it would be a little harder. But usually, I mean, just go back to the guy that you really liked prior. I mean, there must be somebody that you really felt these butterflies every time you were around him. And if you say no, it never happened, it did happen. It always happens in the beginning of the relationship, always. Otherwise, you wouldn't be with that guy. There was a reason why you are from the start with that guy, because there was some kind of um, hello. There was some kind of excitement. There was some kind of passion. There was something that drew you to him. So it's always in the beginning. And why it's in the beginning? Because we don't know, we don't control yet the situation. So there is some kind of excitement, and that excitement basically creates this attraction towards that man, and for man to woman, basically. So go in the beginning of every your relationship, and you will probably find that feeling, and then just recreate this and feel like that for at least couple days, and you will see. But when you are in a relationship, you should feel like that towards your man all the time. So you couldn't feel like, oh my god, this guy always throwing his things around. No, you couldn't feel like, oh, I can't count on him, he wouldn't do nothing. No, you couldn't feel like uh, he's probably too busy, he wouldn't even spend time with me today. No, 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 these are all wrong feelings. You should feel like, oh my god, I wonder what we're going to do today. I mean, today's Sunday. What is he going to come up with? I'm sure he wants to see me. I'm sure he wants to spend time with me today. Something like that. So you should always be excited, always. And to be excited, you obviously don't spend too much time together. Again, not more than 25% of your time. And here I wrote an example here. You should be so when you feel like this, with man or without man, you basically are in love with yourself. You allow your masculinity to flourish in life, and that masculinity converts to a man around you. Now, when you act like this with man or without man, you feeling truly loved, and this helps with your self-love as well. For example, I always have my hair somewhat done. I never wear hair like in a um, like mess. Even when I'm at home by myself, alone, not doing nothing, I'm still make sure that my hair is. I mean, I don't always wear makeup, but my hair is always on point, and obviously my face is decent. So I can at any moment I can open the door and step outside, and I'll be fine. I can go probably to dinner like at any moment. So I always make sure that I look presentable, even if I am at home, even if I know that nobody's coming, even if I know that I have no consultations, nothing scheduled. I still always look on point. Why? Because I love myself even when there is no man around, and you should feel the same way. Whether the man is around or not, you should feel the same way. So, for example, some years back, I invested in laser hair removal. So it was fashionable. Plus, I did it. I'm not sure why, but anyways, I did it, and I love how soft my skin is, and I get compliments on my skin all the time. Every time, every man says how soft your skin is, every single time, because I love my skin on my own, whether there is a man in my life or not. And the man basically they're showing you. So when you also feel like you're excited and in love, the man around you will start mirroring that feeling towards you. So if when you are with the man and you feel like this, that you are so loved, that you are in love, that you're excited, the man will have nothing else to do but to mirror you that and create that experience for you. So make sure that this is what you're doing. This is important. This is probably even more important than can keep flirting and stay 25% only with the man. This is important because our reality is all about the perception. And if our perception will be about the excitement around man, we will feel excited. I have a very, very good example. A good friend of mine, she never was my client, and I don't think she needs. Well, she has some issues, but I think she can she can heal on her own. And I remember when she got married to her husband, I remember I haven't seen her in some time because she started having babies like one after the other. And when we finally met, I'm like, well, how is the married life? And she's like, oh my God, I've never been this in love. And I know why she's feeling like that. First of all, her husband is often um, on work trips, so she doesn't see him that often. So when she sees him, she feels like this. She's like, every time he comes home, it's like we have this honeymoon. She sends the kids to the grandparents, and they just spend time together. They usually travel together. So this is what keeps them. Their relationship so alive, because they don't really each other's life that much. And even when he comes and they spend so much time, she still has her own life and she doesn't give up her life. This is also important. You see, she like I always was impressed with her that even when she had kids, she didn't give up her life. She had her kind of projects. She was involved in so many things. So she distributes her time equally. Even before I knew about systemic approach to life, I was admiring her of how wisely she was spending her time, like between everybody. At one point, I even thought that she's selfish. She was not selfish. She was just focusing on right priorities. So I often remember about her, and I even told her a few times when I started studying systemic approach to life. So this is important. Now, another thing: don't tell your man everything, even if he wants to know. So even if a man tells you, "Well, tell me how was your job," I mean, just be real. Just just like be wise. Tell him, listen, why should we even talk about this? Job is job. Let's remember, if you have to spend 25% of the time with your man, that's how much he can only know. 25% of your life. That's it. He has nothing to do with the other 75%. Other 75% is other other things in your life. So don't tell everything. If he's keep your things separated. This was one of my rules. I never spoke about my job or about my occupation to any of men. Even right now, when men ask, "What are you doing?" I mean, I answer obviously because like. I mean, there's no secret of what I'm doing, but I'm not going to go on and on and on. So, for example, just the other day, a guy asked me, "What are you doing?" And I told him I teach women how to be feminine, and I work with energy. And he's like, "Oh," and he started asking me questions. And I told him, "My God, this is so boring. Let's talk about something else," like that. So make sure that you separate. Don't keep it as a secret, but don't get into different the subjects that are not relevant to you, to your relationship with man. Remember, with the man, you only need to keep it kind of sexual around all the time, again and again and again. So whatever you talk, it has to be somewhat sexual, somewhat around flirting, around the attraction, around the man and woman kind of relationship. You don't discuss politics with him. I was in Italy just recently, and I remember this so bright. I was with the guy, and we started discussing politics. I don't know why, I swear. And we started discussing. I mean, it was a good discussion. We weren't like fighting or anything. It was like really good discussion between two friends, I would say. And when we started discussing, after like half an hour, I was not interested in him no more. And this was sad because that discussion was useless and completely unneeded. I mean, in that situation, I mean, why would they be talking? And I know better, but I don't know. I couldn't stop. So don't do my mistake. I mean, for me, it was just a guy I met, and I was curious about Italy and he showed me around. So it's not like we were married or something, but still, don't make my mistakes. Don't do my mistakes. Okay, so remember, the guy only knows 25% of your time. Don't tell him about your manicure pedicures. Don't tell him how you take care of your skin. Don't tell him about what your mom told you, what your father told you. Don't tell him nothing. This is not his business, and don't overcrowd his mind. Like me, I don't want to know about anything about what men do, what they don't do about their business. I mean, keep it to yourself. I really don't know. And maybe because I really don't want to, they don't tell me, because I wouldn't be even listening to that. I will turn it around very fast. Okay. So that's another one. Even if a man tries to kind of to get the information out, you cut it, but cut it nicely. So just like I would usually say, oh my God, it doesn't sound sexy, or um, oh, but I can't read it all. Write it here, the comment, because I only saw we could not overshare, but I could not see the rest. So yeah, so turn it around, say, oh my God, but this is it doesn't, but it's so heavy, or it doesn't sound very sexy, or when you speak you sound so so serious and it's so sexy, or something. Turn it around, keep it light. Remember, relationship should be light. You're flirting with the guy, you're not discussing something. All right, another thing is, if you have children, it's all easy when the couple is just two people, but it's much harder when there are kids, and I understand that. I had a couple, I still have a couple clients that have children that are really in a relationship, and they have children, and they think that these rules don't apply to them. They do apply to them. If you watch them, is it wrong to discuss politics or economics or anything else? Yes, it's wrong. A man is not for that. A man is um, look, energy of air. This is energy of air is asking. Energy of air is all about knowledge, about new perspectives. Yes, but you should have friends for that, not a man. With men, you only discuss. All your discussions with men should be flirtatious. Should be about sex, basically. That's it. Nothing else connects you with men, because only through sex you can continue life, and that's all. Doesn't mean that you're going to talk about sex all the time, but this is where your focus should be. This is what keeps you excited. This is what awakes your sexual energy. This is what gives him drive. This is what keeps him excited. Yeah, I mean, don't think that you will always be like only sex focused. You won't be, but this is where your goal is. Long-term relationship lasts if there is a solid base in communication. No, this and I will get to that. Okay, let's get to that. Okay, so if you have children, remember you have relationship with children. So if you watch the video about motherhood, watch that. If you don't, I basically said that kids have relationship with the mother separately and with the father separately. Children choose their parents, and they have relationship with each one of them. So that child that you have chose his father, chose the mother, and connected you guys somehow, and basically you had the child. But you have nothing to do in the relationship of a child and the father, and the father has nothing to do in your relationship with the child. So they're separated. So don't get yourself involved in the relationship that your guy has with your kids, or maybe he has kids prior to you. So don't get involved. That's his separate kind of aspect of life. Don't interfere, and don't try to kind of control of how their relationship will grow. So if, for example, if you want a child to go to soccer every week, and then you fight with your man because he could not take him to soccer, or that he could not be at the game, I mean, does the child even want to go to soccer? Or is it just your ambitions that want to have the child playing soccer, and then you want your man to be present there? You want this beautiful picture of a beautiful family all together going to the games. I mean, remember, it has nothing to do with the child or with your man or with you. I mean, this is it's your ideas and your perception. It has nothing to do with that. So you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be fighting with your man if you think that he doesn't spend enough time with the kid, if he doesn't do enough for the kid. It is his relationship with the child. I'm not going to go too deep because I have the whole 1 hour video about that, but it's wrong. It's the relationship between father and the child. You have nothing to do with that. The child chose this father, and at this moment, this is the best father the child could have because he chose him. So if the father spends half an hour every month, I mean, then this is enough for the child. whatever you in your head over there kind of building. Trust me, trust me. I saw kids with fathers that you would think they're so bad, but the kids, they just they had their own perception of those fathers, and they really really grew very strong. So don't get yourself involved in those relationships. I mean, obviously, if you grew a child together in the same household, you will have to discuss something. Don't get yourself too much into this. I mean, um, don't teach your man how to how to bring up his own child. The man knows that. Man knows, he knows what to do and how to do. Obviously, I don't even need to tell you that don't make a man a housewife. I already said that some in one of the previous dialogues. Um, if like housework is a burden for you, and this is normal, I mean, talk to him, and he will get you probably money or help or somebody else. But don't make him clean and wash the dishes with you just because you want to share. Again, he's not your housekeeper; he's your man. You also don't need to do this. So if you think that, oh my god, I have to clean and cook and do everything myself, no, you don't need to do it. You can hire somebody, you can share. I mean, when I lived with the man, I had a clean lady coming once a week, and the man was paying for this. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I obviously kept the apartment clean in the meantime, but I told the guy at once that I would need help, and he didn't mind. So, but don't try to make him do something that you want him to do. Okay, and with the kids, it's his relationship with the kids. If he wants to go to soccer, he goes to soccer. If not, then not. You have nothing to do over there. You think that you're protecting the children, but you are not protecting. You're interfering by feeling that your husband is not spending enough time with the kid. You basically showing this to the child, and the child starts feeling inferior towards his father. You putting the thoughts and the energy in your child that your child would never think like that. All right. So don't involve parents, friends into your relationship with the man. Actually, you shouldn't be involving anybody into anybody's relationship. So your relationship with parents are your relationship with parents. You don't tell your friends about your relationship with parents. You don't tell your man about your relationship with parents. You don't tell your man about your relationship with friends. Keep everybody separate. Everybody has their role, and that's how it should stand. Don't get everybody involved, because if I will tell my mom about the guy and what he did to me or what he didn't do to me, my mom will take my side, and she will already not like the guy. Like, what's the point? If I will tell my man about how mean my friend was, I will be friends with my friends after, but he will think about her not so nicely maybe. So don't involve anybody into your relationship. Your relationship with your man is only your relationship. Keep it keep it like this. Don't discuss your relationship, this is what I put, with your mom or with anybody, maybe me. Yes, you can discuss with me, because first of all, I neutralize the conversations, and second, I look at everything objectively. So I'm not going to say, oh my God, this guy is narcissist. No, I wouldn't. I mean, I'll tell you how it is. I will tell you what you're doing wrong, to where you from, what country, from United States. But as of right now, don't discuss. Remember, your friends and your parents will be on your side. Do you need their reassurance that the man is bad? No, you don't. And if they will not take your side, you will be upset with them. So keep it to you alone with him. Now, if you think that all these that I said are wrong, it is just a wrong habit. Now, and you can change that habit. So in our society, we have these certain beliefs that are not like, they might not be working, but they're still certain beliefs. Like, for example, if you get married, then you need to stay with the guy. If you get married, then you should have like a budget together. Talking about budget, I think this is even wrong to have a budget together. what you should do, you should have a prenuptial agreement that you should definitely do, and you should know how much money a man will give you for the like household and um, for your kind of for your lifestyle. But you shouldn't be having like a budget together. All these topics, they ruin the allure. They ruin the attraction and that spark and that magic. I mean, do you even need to discuss money with the guy? I mean, for what? So you can help him to contribute. So you worry about it. Let him worry about that. It's his kind of let his vasopressin increase through through achieving and earning more money instead of discussing that with you. So just change these habits. These are all habits from the past that are not serving us anymore. And if you think that if you are not going to follow these rules, the man will leave you. No, he probably won't leave you. I mean, if you mold a man to be almost like your pet, I mean, he's not going nowhere. Especially if it's a feminine man. Where is he going? He already he already enjoying himself with you. I mean, it's his comfort zone. But is he going to be interesting? No. Is he going to achieve much in life? Probably not. Is he going to be developing much? Probably not. Why? Because he's in his comfort zone with you. He knows you're not going nowhere. He like everything is too predictable. So you guys are just going to stay together without any kind of development until hopefully at one point one of you will realize that this is not a life and that something has to be changed. And I saw a lot of families, a lot of couples in my childhood and in my grown-up life, and they lived like this together. And then at one point, somebody like this wake up and okay, I could not do this no more because of that. Because because we're here to develop. A man helps us develop. We help a man to develop. We could not become. We couldn't become like two pieces of furniture and and boring furniture. What is more, so yeah. So you might not agree with me on something, but just think about that. Think, and you will see. And here at the end, I wrote. I wanted to give you my example. So I had a relationship. Since I was I don't know, since maybe 21. So like strong relationship. Before that, maybe I was flirting this and this, but this was my pattern. As I told you in the beginning, I like a man. I feel very inspired towards him. I feel really great towards him. I would really want to be with him. And once I start dating this man, I would do anything I could to kind of to mold him to my ideas of how the relationship should be. So I would make sure that he calls me, that he has dates planned. I'll make sure that he sends me good morning, good night. Like I mold him to exactly what I want him to be, to my ideal kind of candidate. And then what would happen? I would start losing interest in him because it is too predictable. There's no more excitement. I know that I will wake up, good morning, beautiful. I would go to sleep, good night, beautiful. Once a week we'll go on a date, and I know exactly where we're going because I tell him where we're going. So it lost it all. Like all the excitement would be lost. Then I would be unhappy for some time, and then I would start looking for somebody. I would basically draw him away, and I would start looking for somebody else. Now, when I started following these rules, the relationship turned completely. And I'm not talking about following these rules with men that are long time in your life. Also following these rules with men that maybe you just starting dating, or maybe just your admirers, or even male friends. I mean, keep these rules with every man in your life, with every single one. Like for example, if you have like a male boss, I mean, don't discuss with that male boss nothing but your work. Don't. He's not your friend. He's not your more. He's your boss. Keep it this way, and it should be with everybody. So when I turned it around, when I stuck to these rules, when I start behaving as I would have a man all the time, when I start looking after myself, like really, really, and not only when I'm going on a date, but throughout the days, throughout the weeks, throughout the months, when I'm always kind of a little Polish myself, when I started living like this, when I started separating my life, so only 25% I spend with the man, no matter how much I like a man and how much I want to spend time with him, I have my other life. I have the things that I like to do. I have my family. I have myself. I have my interest, my hobbies. So I wouldn't be spending more than 25%. Even if I would want to spend the whole maybe week with him together, I still would pull away. I still would say, okay, so I need to go. I need to do some things. I will see you in the evening, or I will see you tomorrow, something like that. Even if it's super hard, I know that it's for my for the best of our relationship and for me myself, for my own sanity, because I know what will happen if I spend too much time with him. I'll start controlling him, and I wouldn't want that. And so when I start separating kind of those roles, when I stop talking to my friends about my man, to my mom, to anybody about my man, when I stop expecting from a man to be my child, my parent, my my friend, my everything, my wallet, my relationship completely changed. I could say that my relationship with every man right now is very like on a different level. Sometimes I sit and I think, and I'm like, my God, I'm so fortunate to have such a great man in my life. But truly, this is how I feel. I truly feel like this, and they are really great because I keep it this way. I don't allow it to get to the point um, where I will answer that, where um, I wouldn't allow it to get to the point where we're too comfortable with each other. We're so comfortable with each other that I could act like like I don't know. I don't even act like that with myself anymore. Okay, so I hope I encourage you to sum it up. Remember, you fall in love with the man that is a separate entity. He is on his own. You fall in love with him because he's independent, because he's himself, because he has particular character, particular ambitions, particular plans. Don't try to ruin it for yourself, first of all. Don't try to mold him into something. Also, he fall in love with you because you're a particular person with a particular ambitions, with a particular kind of ideas. Don't mold yourself to him. Don't cater to him. Don't expect him to cater to you. You will, both of you will mold somewhat, but allow it to come with time. Don't try to control everything in the first months of knowing each other. Now, continue flirting. Don't disrespect your man, obviously, but continue flirting. Don't expect your man to be your pet. So he's not always available to you. He's not your parent. He's not your kid. He's not your friend. Remember, you are supposed to be a self-sufficient person, and he's a self-sufficient person. Don't expect him to jump on to save you every time you have some kind of issues. Spend only 25% with the man, thinking about the man and flirting with the man. You should always act like a man is your biggest crush. So always act like this. Don't tell your man everything, only 25% of your life. Remember, since you're sharing only 25%, you also telling him only 25%. If you have children, don't get involved in the relationship with in his relationship with your children and his children. Don't discuss your relationship with anybody, not parents, not friends. Don't tell him also about your relationship with parents and friends. If you went out with your girls and he's asking how was everything, everything was amazing. That's it. If it was not, yeah, it was good. And if you don't agree with me, try to just consider this. Okay, a question. But what if you're flirting all the time? At one point, the relationship should become serious. When you live with the person, there is common plans. How should you be interested in his life? You shouldn't be interested in his life. Why you be interested in his life? That's his life. He will share with you what you should know. Are you really interested in his life? I don't. The common plans. I mean, I would argue that too. So you can say, for example, I would like to, like, I have a vacation in August. I would like to go to Italy. I mean, the man knows that you would like to go to Italy, so he will probably create that. Now, if you try to make plans with him, then you are trying to control the situation and your relationship with him. It's like you don't trust that he can create that. Okay, so what if he will say, well, I don't want to go to Italy. I don't even want to go nowhere. I mean, will it stop you to go to Italy? Then you will just go to Italy yourself, right? All this is just extras, and they're getting sold. The man that knows about your desires and your wishes, he will make them happen. It will happen, honestly. It just but of course, when you live together, you have to discuss certain things. For example, your electricity needs to get paid. So you mentioned this, but that shouldn't be more than 5% of your time. Only maybe 5%. I mean, how long does it take you to discuss all the issues that needs to be fixed in the apartment or somewhere else? It shouldn't be that long. And that's why the prenuptial agreement would be a very good thing. When you know that all this is covered, you don't even discuss it. So yeah, the relationship would be serious, but you still will be flirting. There's nothing wrong with that. Um, I want you, I want you to remember, this is an overrated belief that just because you are married, the flirting should go away. That now it is serious, that we're a family. Now we need to think differently. No, you're still a man and a woman that are trying to develop together. Just a second. You're still a man and a woman that are developing together. Just because you married, just because you have a paper, and I've been married a few times, doesn't change anything. Doesn't change anything completely. You should still keep it. And I'm telling you, I think my marriages maybe didn't work out because of that. Because I thought, okay, so now we're married. Now we need to think differently. Why? A man liked me because I was flirting and I was so light. Why did he change this? I don't understand. Okay, there is another question here. My boyfriend was diagnosed with schizophrenia and dumped me. This is sad. Said my depression was a burden. Oh my God, depression is a burden for you probably the most. Depression is a burden for everybody. And honestly, get out of it as soon as possible. And yeah, don't overcrowd others with your problems. This is exactly what I'm telling you about. If you have issues with something, I mean, your man has nothing to do with solving your issues. If you have problems, like get yourself a help, a psychiatrist, or maybe come and work with me. But the man has nothing to do with that. The man is not your savior. He's not your parent. He's a man, and he's a person on his own, a person that lives his life, has his own challenges. How would you feel if a man would dump on you all his problems? I mean, I wouldn't want that. So no, keep it there. Keep it. He was right. He told you what probably you think. He told you and that's good that he told you. He could have just been meaner. But that's good maybe that he left you because he gave you time to reconsider and to take care of yourself. You're in a relationship with the man and you have a depression. I mean, how is it possible? There's no allure, no attraction at all. when I'm in a relationship with the man, I'm flying. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. I mean, at least consider it, and you will see when you will see how much your life might change, because might change a lot. Yes, it is hard, especially when, for example, you don't feel too well and your man is with his friends and you're watching his Instagram story and you're like, so I'm here with the fever and he's over there like having fun with his friends. But okay, but he's not a nurse to sit next to me. I mean, this would be so wrong. Or for example, if I have issues and I want to call him right away, but look, you're not a handicapped person. You shouldn't be relying on another person for every single issue. I mean, if you could not handle it by yourself, then this is the problem. Like, you see, we're putting energetic burden on the other person. Like, like, if for example, if I would call a man for every problem I have, I mean, the guy would be pulling away from me. Why? Because it creates a lot of like pressure on him. I mean, like at one point, every time I would call him, he would feel like, okay, again, she wants something else. Like, this is not normal. I mean, maybe I can ask him. I mean, it's I can ask a man and he would help me. But do I want it? No. I mean, he's not my father to help me all the time. I like try to understand this. I would also not feel right. I mean, how would I look at him? How would I admire him? Will he admire me if he's only um like my savior every single time? I mean, that won't be right. We're two separate, self-sufficient person, and we just connect like this, 25%, and that's all. We still continue with our lives, just 25% we're connecting to develop. Trust me, when you are feeling right about a man, you get so inspired and you have so much energy that you can do everything. And if you remember your really significant relationship, you probably were flying and you were achieving so much and you were like getting. I remember when I was in love, I was promoted, I was getting so much money, I could help the whole world because I was so high on this excitement and love. So we start needing men when we become weak, when we become dependent, when we become like, there's already no relationship. This is a very dependable relationship when this happens. So don't allow your relationship to get to this point. You're your own self-sufficient person with your own kind of issues, development, with your own ideas, with your own plans. He's his own person. Allow him to be what he is. Allow yourself to be what he is. Don't cater to him. Don't expect him to cater to you. Just connect to develop together. That's it. Don't think about, okay, so I have a man now. Now I need to change my plans for the summer because I have a man now. Who knows? Maybe he will have some kind of plans. No, this is not like this. You have your plans. Go on with your plans. If a man wants to be with you, he will either speak to you, or he will alter his plans, or maybe he has his plans too. You can't really expect him to change his plans because you're now thinking that you guys are a couple. Wrong. Okay, so that's it. I do hope it's helpful. Re-listen to it. When my mentors were telling me this, I was also very rebellious. I didn't believe in this. I didn't want to believe. I believed if I'm with the man, I should be like I'm behind the wall. A man should support me, should give me this and this and this. And you know when the man started supporting me, when I started supporting myself, when I started like, yeah, that would be nice, but I really don't mind. And that's only when he became when they started to really cater to me. But do I have expectations? No, these are my standards, I would say, but not an expectation. I mean, if the guy could not give me, okay, so then there will be another one that will give me. But I wouldn't put a pressure on this particular guy just because I have expectations from him. Uh, you were telling that a man shouldn't protect and give you security in the like moral sense of physical. Shouldn't a man help you if you are endearing to him? Yes, and he will. A man will help you. For a man, it's the easiest thing to give you money or to give you security or to care for you. This is really easy for him. He will, as long as you're not expecting from him. As I said, have a standard that, okay, so if your standard is that you live in the center of the city and you have a 2-bedroom apartment, so obviously you are not going to move in with the guy that doesn't have that or doesn't live there, or that he could not afford an apartment like this. You're not even going to be with that guy. But he will give you, man, they always do. They really do provide and they don't mind to provide. But as long as you don't have this like strict expectations on them, like for example, I remember when I was a teenager, I was reading these novels, love novels, and I was going like, this is what I was expecting. I was expecting that I will meet this wealthy guy out of nowhere, and he will just come and he will save me. And he was like, okay, come and live in my mansion with me, and I will just buy you all the most expensive stuff and this and diamonds and just be. This is what I was thinking, but it was wrong expectations from the start. But okay, I was a teenager at that time, so plus I was on those love novels. Like my mind was completely not there. A man will give me all that, but I need to have that in my mind already. Like I need to have that vision, and I need to be at least on my way to that kind of lifestyle. Like for example, I live in Miami. I travel right now, but I always live in a nice places. So I wouldn't be able to even date a guy that doesn't want or couldn't have a nice place like I usually have. I mean, this is just it is my standard. So the men that I socialize, they all have nice places. It's just normal, and they would eagerly provide that for me because this is part of their life as well. So a man obviously will provide you all that, but you shouldn't be having those expectations for him. You should have this as a standard, but not as an expectation. And yes, a man, the masculinity creates the security around them, their femininity. So this is true. He does, but he will do it on his own as a part of his development. He will do. Every man. I mean, if a man really likes a woman, this is the first thing he does. He creates the security for her. He wants to kind of protect her, to provide for her. He wants to give her everything. I went on a date here with the guy, and he's like, "Tell me when you are cold, because like in the evenings it's a little chilly. Tell me if you want something to eat. Tell me this. Tell me this." You know, he really wanted to provide all the comfort that I would want to need in my life. And I didn't ask him. I didn't expect it from him. But obviously, if he wouldn't provide me, I mean, this was like this my standard. I wouldn't expect less from him. But again, he wanted to do it on his own because I was um, maybe somewhat special to him. Okay, I hope it makes it clear for you, um, and for the anonymous member that was writing on Instagram. Just think about that. Think. It's like that. When you keep it light, when you keep it inspiring, I will make another dialogue about how to be a muse. A man wants to do anything because he wants to be around you. When you make it heavy, no man or nobody actually wants to be around happiness. But I also wanted to add something, not on the subject, but if you felt like it was a little heavy lately, if you felt like men were not very active lately, like that your actions are not very active lately, that's because Mars was in Pisces for the last 6 weeks. The good news is that Mars moving on Monday to Aries. So you will see how active and passionate man will be, because Aries is its home for Mars and it's very fiery sign. So be prepared to see man being very active, very strong, maybe even a little too um, too advancing, and you will see that you will start acting more. And also Venus is moving to Taurus on the 30th, which means that we as women become more focused on our how we look, about our surrounding, about our clothes. Don't spend too much, don't overeat. So we will reverse the roles. Right now, Venus is in Aries, so women are very active, and men, Mars is in Pisces, so men are very lazy, very lost, very kind of like they don't know what to do. Right now, it will reverse, and men will become very like active, not even focused, very active, and women become more kind of in their femininity. That's on the good side. That's the only changes that are coming. All right. If you have questions, ask. If not, we're going to finish. On Thursday, I'm going to put a video. So next Sunday, we're going to discuss how to how to go through a breakup, processing breakup and feminine energy, the feminine way. One of you asked me to go through that. And on Thursday, I will put probably how to become a muse. That will be interesting. Or maybe how to have men crave you. If you have any subjects, if you want me to discuss something, let me know. I will be grateful for your ideas, because some of your ideas are obviously for me it's something that I would never think about. So I would appreciate if you will give me some ideas. And yeah, and that's it. Let me just glance through TikTok really fast. Okay, I think I answered that, all of that. Just remember this. The topic for today was how to keep an allure and attraction in a couple with the man. I didn't say how to have a strong household or how to make your household practical. We were talking about allure and attraction. You need to make sure that you keep as excited with your man as you were on the first, second date. And to get there, you need to follow those rules. I follow those rules. I have, obviously, sometimes I break them, as every sane person. My clients are following those rules. I have a few friends that are following those rules, and for everybody it works. Is it comfortable? No, it's not. It's just a habit that you need to work on, and it takes time to work on, because sometimes you're with the man and you become too comfortable and you start. My boss today, he was so mean, blah blah blah, and in like like why are you getting there? And you just need to catch yourself. Okay, this is not really the conversation I should be having with the man right now. Why am I talking about my boss at this moment when it's not relevant at all? I am with my man right now. Let me talk with my man about my man. Let me talk about our plans for the evening, or about how happy I am to see him. Why am I again and again reliving the situation with my boss like that? So it's just a matter of um, training yourself for a new habit. And once you will train yourself, you will see how easy it is. Like right now, I mean, I really am not interested in anything that some other people could be interested. Like a couple months ago, my childhood crush wrote to me, and my mom asked me, what is he doing? What is his job? What is where are his brothers? And I'm like, I don't know. I didn't ask him this question because I already have a habit. With men, I talk only on on subjects that are keeping everything, the relationship light and kind of maybe lightly flirting. I mean, obviously, don't flirt with everybody. There is like certain subordinations. Wouldn't be flirting with professionals that are helping me or with somebody. But I also don't dig deep into anybody. There's no need. You will know all that information, and then what are you going to do with all that information? For what are you needing it for? Like there is no reason. I remember I had a friend and she was dating a guy who had a daughter from a previous marriage. So she thought she will bond with him when she started asking about the daughter. Okay, this is a good thing. I mean, obviously it is like a serious part of his life, this child. So you could not kind of ignore that he has this. But on the other hand, I mean, this is his daughter, not hers. So um like they were not even married, so it's not like she was a stepmother. No, she was not. So he got so comfortable talking about his daughter to her that at one point she was complaining to me, why is he always talking about his daughter? Well, because you expressed the interest. You were always asking, how is your daughter, what you guys were doing, what this and this, and this is not needed. So and what do you think? At one point they broke up, and they broke up because of that daughter. So again, why? Because they couldn't separate the roles. If he could have kept the relationship, hello from Nebraska, hello Nebraska, if he would keep his relationship with the daughter separately, with this friend of mine separately, they could have grew into something more. And with time, she would grow some interest to this girl of his, and she probably would have been a really good stepmother. So it was not about it was just wrong timing and very fast kind of like he wanted her to know everything. Why? Because she asked him. So just try to stick to these rules, and you will see how everything might change, and and see and see how your relationship will turn around. When you have a man, when you're with the man, just talk to him, just flirt with him, and see how it will go. See how it will change. Okay, that's it. I'm going. We'll see you next Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday today. I'll see you next Sunday. We're going to talk about how to handle breakups in feminine way, and I will put you a video on Thursday for your entertainment. Okay, thank you everybody who were here. Thank you for your questions, and I talk to you all next Sunday. Bye everyone. Bye TikTok. Bye YouTube.